I still remember a guy hata James. I used to remember a guy alikuwa anaenda kwake kuunda nywele and then anipea ugali na nyeni ziko na nyama. So unajua that was a rare commodity. Yeah. Akinipea ugali na nyama ananiambia buda situonane siku nyingine, he wouldn't pay me. But I have nothing to say because I was hungry, and then I'll be like, "Huyu jamaa tu yani amenipika tu kiraka hivyo juu amenipea tu food. Ni sawa, I'll just take it and grow. I'll get to the point where I'll grow." Corona killed everything. Went back into prayer, started teaching on Zoom. The classes became big. Now I'm making money at the comfort of my home. Literally, I didn't have to go anywhere. Simu yangu ilikuwa inalia tu ting, pesa imeingia. Yeah, food is a lie. Anyone telling you utapaka kitu ime is a lie, because hair doesn't grow on the head. Hair grows on the skin. Anything that you will have to do to make your hair grow has to go through here. You have to ingest it. But the problem is all your hairs will grow. So instead of that, for commercial purposes, paka hapa it'll grow. It's a lie.
Where do you think that comes from when you are trying to make moves and there are people always saying, unaringa.
I am happy for you as long as I can access you. The moment you go up, umeringa. Na mimi naulizanga watu wako primary wangapi mnaongeanga nao? When you went to high school, you formed high school friends. When you moved to the Gulf, you formed girlfriends. You moved back here. Now maybe 2 people only from the Gulf.
A true story though.
Na si ati unawachukia. It's because you move. So wewe ulikuwa unanilipa si ati nimekata ado yako.
Plus nime advance
your money is not moneying now.
Hey guys, welcome to today's episode of LNS. My name is Lynn Ngugi, and as always, we get to meet for another episode where we get to do 3 things in life. We get to learn and relearn. And today I just want to tell you guys, this one is dedicated to everyone that tries. I know you've seen my guest on his social media accounts. Maybe you have. And I know a lot of people admire his hair, me included. But I also admire his grit. You know, when he told me, Lynn, you are going to love my story. Can you imagine being in Dubai, 9 visiting visas and still not being able to put it together? And now he's traversing across the world. He's meeting incredible people. His skill is being appreciated by so many people. And I always say, guys, ipo siku, whatever it is that you know that is your passion and purpose, please do not give up on it, because ipo siku, and I know that's what his story is going to teach us today. I'm about to let him introduce himself and walk us through his journey. I asked him, Kris, what do you want to achieve with today's episode? And he said, Lynn, I just want to inspire people with my journey. So we are about to listen to him and get inspired through his journey. But before that, allow me to say thank you to our new partners on the platform. Guys, tupigieni makofi. We have a new partner on the show, Golden Dreams Land and Properties Limited. Karibuni sana LNN. You guys, it's been a wonderful time going, just walking around this country with you showing me your properties from Matu, Masinga, Malindi, Makutano. And guys, for us, when we get a new partner, we always appreciate. So now, if you're looking into owning a piece of land, and you can own this land from 130K to all the way to 750K, why don't you talk to our people at Golden Dreams Land and Properties Limited? Ask them to show you the properties they have across Kenya. And if owning a land is your dream right now, you talk to them. Their numbers are on the screen, and we will be talking about the certain properties they have across the world, across the country. And if you want to buy that land also and you're in diaspora, why don't you use our other partner? You see how that came in? Huh? Why don't you use our other partner, Tap, to send money, even to the guys at Golden Dreams Land and Properties Limited, to send money to them and purchase that piece of land. And always remember, if you're using Tap, there's a code for you. Use the code Lynn, and you're able to get a bonus on the figures appearing on your screen right now. And also to say thank you so much to our new subscribers, especially from South Africa. Welcome to our platform. We are having a lot of thought-provoking conversations together. So if you are a new member, shukran, welcome to LNN and the incredible team that gets to put this work together. Thank you so much. I have said you get to see me in front of the screen, but it takes an entire team to be able to put this work together. And now, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, allow me to welcome the wise who has the most beautiful hair on the platform. Drum rolls.
Thank you very much.
Sijazoea. Watu hawajazoea. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Welcome to the
Thank
show.
you very much.
I don't know where to stare. Should I stare at you? Should I stare at the hair? Should I stare at the feet, the shoes, the beard?
Thank you very
You
much.
look incredible.
Thank you. I
Welcome
appreciate
to
it.
LNN.
I appreciate
A
it.
dream to finally get to host you in person.
It was my dream to come here.
Oh man, I appreciate that. We are about to be inspired by your
Thank you
story.
very much.
But I know maybe there's someone who has missed you. They've not seen you maybe across the social media platforms. Maybe looking at that camera, could you introduce yourself and tell us what you do?
My name's originally Christopher Nganga,
Yeah.
but I go by the name Kris Mcdred. Yani Kris wa Madredi.
Yeah.
It started by being kama ule maina wa garage. Unajua ule mwenye anatengeneza magari.
Yes.
So it was Kris wa Madredi.
Yeah.
And then when I had the locks on, then they called me ule Kris mwenye anakuanga na dread. So people just started calling me Madred.
Yeah.
Jamaa wa Madred. Ule jamaa wa Madred namjua because you don't remember your name. Then I became Kris Mcdred, and that's exactly what I do. Me ni ule jamaa wa Madred.
Yeah.
So I teach people. What I do is I teach people how to maintain locks, because there's a lot of myths and misconceptions about locks. As simple as you're not supposed to wash it. I wash my hair twice a week.
Oh.
You get it? So that's my main agenda, is to teach people on lock maintenance from an individual level, but mainly also the caregivers of hair, the locticians, the people who work in salons, because they are the ones responsible for this misconception, because they are not educated, which is not their fault, because there is no cosmetology schools that teaches on locks or even black hair. And so when I saw that need, I gravitated towards it, and I feel that need. So now I teach on pre-recorded classes. I have other teachers who teach with me on Zoom and on hands-on training, and then I traveled across the world just doing workshop on locks and teaching people how to do hair. Yes.
I've seen you in different countries. I was just going through your Instagram and I'm like, man, you've traveled the world.
Yes.
Well, let me ask, before I ask what you've learned and learned and what you're learning in life, you've said something very important. You saw a need and you gravitated towards feeling that need. Is that like your life mantra right now? See a need, don't just do what everyone is doing. Please identify a need and ask yourself, am I gifted to be able to feel this need?
Yes. In fact, my business gravitates towards the questions that people ask me. So when I hear a question, how, like the most common question that was there recently is, who do you know in this city that does hair the way you do? So I realized that's a need to multiply myself.
Yes.
Because they're not asking who does hair. Who do you know who does hair that you trust? And so I created on my website, there's a section of people that I have trained that now people go to them. So my mantra is find that need. Look, what is the question that people are asking more often than not? Instead, okay, kila mtu amefungua biashara ya viatu, pia unataka kuwa na biashara ya viatu. What can you, even though I do say also, you cannot reinvent the color yellow. You get it? Yes. We can both be you're on YouTube, I'm on YouTube. We can both have a show, but the bad part is to try to be you and replicate you. But I can make my color yellow mustard.
Yes.
And come up with an idea that is still, this is talk show, there are so many talk shows, but what is the unique part that will make people want to gravitate to? Or what is it people that want to hear? Then I'll make so for me it was hair. And I realized nobody's actually talking about hair or teaching about it. It became my niche market, and now I have sat on that place where when you talk about hair, it is me that people talk about.
I love that. Oh God, I love that. The need to not want to replicate what other people are doing. And I feel like we waste so much time trying to be other people. And by the time you look back, you've wasted 10 years trying to be Kris. And that has taken away from what God gave you. What was your initial calling?
Yes. Yes. People do that a lot, where even though I've said you can never create a color yellow, you can replicate. People try so hard to be somebody else. I was watching a documentary once on a flight of a guy I love called Charlie Chaplin.
Yes.
Charlie Chaplin went to a Charlie Chaplin look-alike contest. Charlie Chaplin finished 20th. Now the funny part is, nobody remembers number 1 until 19. Why? Because they were all Charlie Chaplins. So they all moved out of their purpose and became that one person. When somebody starts to say, unaongea kama, you're like, okay, have I lost my authenticity? Because I want to be the person people say, unaongea kama Kris. Not, So a lot of people spend time like, okay, and it's because we spend time consuming other people. And it's okay because they are content consumers and content producers. So if I want to be a content producer, I have to stop consuming content and start producing content.
Yes.
By spending time alone with God and with myself, I'm like, okay, what is it that is authentically me? That if I sit here, no any other guest has ever sat here and spoke the way I will speak, with the authority I have, with the energy that I present myself with,
and the
knowledge that I have. There's a uniqueness. There's so many people with great hair, so many people who do hair, but a uniqueness that people will be like, there was something about that guy. It was just him. It wasn't something. It was who he is that brings that essence. It is who you are that brings that LNN. And people are like, I like that show. Why? It's because the person has embodied herself and you're comfortable within yourself to bring out the best of yourself.
I love that. Let's go deeper. Our theme for this year is learn, unlearn, and relearn. So I'm going to start asking you, what is it that you've had to unlearn in your life? Let's start there.
I've had to unlearn that jobs, number one, jobs are not for everyone, but also business is not for everyone. I've had to unlearn that very sad story, that the dreams are supposed to be fluid. Your dreams is not supposed to be, your GPS is not supposed to be the same direction. Sometimes you will waver away and sometimes it goes, and you have to be very fluid. You have to be like water when you have a dream. Because when you stick it, mimi naenda US, mimi lazima niolewe na mzungu. Then 40 years later, you find someone, what happened to you? Because sababu your dream was not adjustable. Ewe lazima ulijua ukienda US ndio utamake. Ukinyimwa visa, depression, and then now, mimi hata unajua, because you had hinged your GPS on that one place instead of being, okay, how can I model myself to fit into what is required of me in this moment in time?
Absolutely.
Tomorrow, story ya nywele kisha, who will I be? Like Kris. Before I was a fitness guy. Before that, I was a lifeguard. Before that, I was an actor. All things that I've done, nimefanya kazi ya kuuza mboga, machungwa, I've done farming. Whatever is required of me at that moment in time, you embody yourself into that thing. Like, okay, now I'm jobless. What do I do now? What do I need to learn now? Okay, my education is here. How is it helping me? What else can I learn outside of that? And how am I? Another thing I've had to unlearn is time. Because people complain about time a lot, but we all have time. It's just priorities. And when you put those priorities, you put yourself as a first priority, Lynn. When you say somebody is listening to you, is this? Is you looking at me and nodding? Then I know Lynn is listening to me. Sio Lynn ako kwa simu. Nakusikia.
Endelea.
You know, is that. But when do you give yourself this? Where you sit down and be like, let me just spend time with me.
Let me listen to
Let's talk, Kris. Let's talk. Niambie unatakaje. Mbona hiyo story imekujamisha hivyo? Is it a trauma response? Are you projecting?
Where's the trigger coming from?
Where's the trigger coming from? Is this something that you need to deal with? You just need to exercise forgiveness or letting go in this moment? What is this? And then when you spend that time alone, you now learn you. You have to learn yourself. Learn you very well to know that, okay, this is who I am.
I love that. What are you learning?
Right now?
Yes.
I'm learning how to live like this is my last day.
Wow.
I want to look at you like I will never see you again. I want to experience this room. I want to consume all the colors. I want to be in love with this place because I don't know if I'll ever be here again. That's what I'm learning, how to be literally interested and present with exactly what is happening in that moment in time. Whether good or bad, whether it's traffic, I'm stuck, whether it's raining. Yesterday I was on the balcony looking outside and listening. I recorded the rain because we live in Dubai. The rain comes, ama ikinyesha sana inakuwa stress. So it's just to being in that presence. I'm learning how to be present and to consume people right here and just love on you with me, with my whole presence, being here. That's what I'm learning. And I'm unlearning how the dreams that of our fathers had, they were their dreams.
Tell me about it.
You know, because I realized I spent my first years in Dubai working so hard ndio ununue vitu zenye hata sijui ziko wapi. Because uliambiwa kija korowe na mokota no kinya korowe na kido unajua. Now you have 10 pieces of properties in the middle of somewhere you don't even know because you've never even gone to see them. And I'm like, I need to unlearn that and start to understand what is my dream. Like me and my wife sat down and said, how do we quantify wealth? Is it money in the bank? Is it property?
Yes.
We said we'll quantify wealth with memories. And so we prioritized traveling. And so for us to feel wealthy, we have to be in another country and just have a good time.
And good food.
Good food.
Yes.
And so we look back every time and we're always like, we have a lot to talk about and laugh about because we have a lot of memories that we're creating together.
What are you relearning?
I'm relearning how to be a child.
Oh.
I'm relearning how to make everything happy. And when we were young, everything was fun. And so I realized even in my painting, which is my free time I paint, I was making it school. Lazima umalize, lazima ikuwe hivi perfect. Then I realized, no, it's supposed to be fun. You know, if I'm talking to you, I'm supposed to be enjoying it. Yeah. Hata kama kuna camera, if I have the tension, then I lose out on the child in me. Should be able to sit free, and then life becomes much more interesting when we. In fact, the Bible never calls anyone an adult, which is very interesting.
My child.
It's always children of God. We are meant to be childlike and have that joy bubbling within us of knowing that the Heavenly Father will take care of everything.
I love that. Yeah, I love that. God, let's go there. Your journey. I always say for a testimony to be there.
There has to be a test.
There you go. Could you walk us through your journey so that we get to understand when Kris sits here, existing in his most authentic way, where is this coming from?
You want us to start from where? Because we can start from primary or we can start from Dubai.
Give me something. Let me know how you grew up.
Well, I grew up in boarding school from class 1. And it wasn't until last year that I actually appreciated boarding school. I hated it because they beat us. We are in the era where corporal punishment was normal. And I became a very mean child because you're so used to being beaten. And I still remember I didn't cry until I was 26 years old. I was an adult. And it was because I was going through, the church we're going through something called overcoming rejection. So you learn the value of forgiveness. But last year I learned that our parents took us to boarding school because it was the best education available. So it was an act of love. And it was also a flex. We're in private school, but we didn't see it as that. The other day I was talking to one of my son's friend, he's 20, and I said to him, I'm sure you don't appreciate the effort that your father has done. He's a first generational preacher. And how hard he has worked to ensure that you have the things that you take for granted. You went to a group of schools, you know? And so I didn't appreciate it until I realized it was an act of love. And our teachers beating us is not because they hated us. I was number 67 out of 73. I wasn't the smart kid. They were trying to ensure that I keep up with the rest of the flock to make it in life. But for me, it was a punishment. And for a long time, I carried that bitterness. Until one day, just God was like, let's heal. And I had to allow myself, like, I need to heal the inner child. Because I keep seeing him popping up in places that is irrelevant. And like, okay, son, let's talk. And I was like, yeah, it was an act of love. So I went through boarding school. And boarding school made me the eloquent guy I am because you have to talk to a lot of people. You were 1,500 students. And then after boarding school, high school, I was chaotic in high school. But my mother was a businesswoman. And so business is not something, I didn't go to school to learn how to become, I went to school to learn how to socialize. But to learn how to be a functional member of the society, it was my mother, who every day I would see how she would hustle to ensure that me and my 3 sisters have got food and good education, which she did at the best of her ability. And so me watching my mother, we used to wake up 4 a.m. in the morning, kuchinja kuku za kupeleka na kusama. You know, 4 a.m. tunazichinja zote. We used to hire somebody, we learned, we stopped hiring, now we became the DJs. And kuchinjia kuku hata unaweza cheka. It looks like a shop. Naimaliza na umetoa kila kitu. So I learned the entrepreneurship from there and the hustle. I remember tukuanga na stima tumeka juzi. So ulikuwa na nikanyitira na zile lamp zingine.
Yeah.
So we would put them kwa kuku juu, kuku za mayai, kuku za grade lazima zikule 24 hours.
Yes.
Ndio shorten the amount of time they're staying with you. And I would be left with a tin lamp. And the tin lamp would go off. And I would go outside in the moon and continue drawing in the moon, because I'm on night shift. I have to keep checking the chicken, kama ziko na maji, kama ziko na chakula, until morning. My mother would take the morning shift. So I learned how to, my grit, my hustle culture came from my mother. It's the one that by observation. And so I say education was for interaction. Home is where kids now get to learn.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, so from there, I went to Buruburu Institute of Finance. Before that, I was working in the fitness industry. I was a lifeguard. Then I got hired as a fitness instructor. And everything I've ever done, I've just started trisex. The way I got into fitness was we used to swim. We loved swimming. So the place we used to go, we couldn't afford to pay 50 bob every day. So that guy said, come and be lifeguarding in the weekends. Then you can have an opportunity to swim.
Yeah.
So we would go during the week. And because there's no people during the week, we would practice swimming and go for competitions.
Wow.
But in terms of like April kuna baridi, we would go back to aerobics ikianza jioni. So tunataka kwenda home. We would warm up with aerobics.
Yes.
Nyuma ya class, feel warm, and then sasa tunatembea kwenda home. Then the instructor was like, these guys have gotten the move. His name was Walter Juma, very nice Christian guy. And he would be like, Chris, come and warm the class. So we started warming the class in the front and then go home after 15 minutes. Sasa warm up imeisha, class iendelee. Eventually, fanya class. Then I got a job, which I worked for almost 2.5 years. And I was very good. I still love group exercise instructing. At one time, I was doing 6 classes a day. A day. And if you've been in an aerobics class, you know it's a cardio.
Yeah.
And then from there, I went to Bible school, New Creation Bible Training College, to do ministry college. But it wasn't because I wanted to be a minister. Nifungue kanisa. Koronelino!
Amen!
Alipoambiwa na Yesu.
Pokea 20 million.
Ama kata imagine.
Nimepledge 100.
It was for my own understanding and for my own
word.
edification, so that if I'm serving God, I have a deeper understanding with the God that I am serving. And so from there, I did, when I was still in BIFA, I was doing college, biblical college. So I did fine arts. And I did fine arts because I was very good at black and white, but I couldn't understand color theory. And BIFA taught me a lot of color theory. Then from there, I went to KU to do a degree. And then kukakuwa na violence 2007. So I went to Dubai to look for a job.
Yeah.
And there had been so many prophecies of you going to the world, to the nation, you'll be going to the nations. You know, people say you'll make it in the nation. Then I go there, and 3 years, 8 visit visas, going in and out, in and out, in and out, kutafuta kazi. Mpaka watu wanakuona, sasa huyu hakuwa anapata kazi. Like I can tell you times where I have landed in Dubai at the airport and I didn't have anywhere to go or anyone to call. And I just borrowed somebody's phone, put my SIM card, called somebody I used to know, took me out of the airport and was like, where do I take you? I'm like, I don't know, I just needed to leave the airport. So now let's think. Nisambazie Kobole.
Yeah.
And then Kobole, then I call people I used to know and go sleep at the floor. I still remember this floor I slept in. And there was a guy called Jalal who I used to cook for him and wash his clothes so I can eat. Akienda gym anakuja anapata nimepika, tunakula. And in that process of that hustling ya kutafuta job, kutembea mguu in the middle of summer, you know, kutafuta job. In the middle of all that is when somebody in one of the bed spaces we used to stay in,
God,
you know, the bed
tell me
spaces.
about it.
And my dream was, nimeka mpaka triple banker.
Triple banker.
Na wa Bangladesh.
Yes. Yep.
Wanamkaka asubuhi sijui guys. Yeah, exactly. Mtu anamka asubuhi kutoka Corona 77 sijui zinatokaga wapi. And I would wake up early before them. I would wake up early before them, go to the rooftop your house. Then I would play my guitar until 8.
That was a hard moment.
That was a hard
Even for me. That.
Kuamka asubuhi.
Let me not do it again. Sorry,
and then
guys.
Asubuhi. And then jioni, midnight, wakitoka job. You know, people eat, cultures are different. You eat. So I have to come back after wamelala,
yes.
which is after midnight.
Yeah.
And early morning, nilikuwa najuaga lazima nitatoka. I've moved bed spaces to bed spaces. I know when a cockroach is touching me and when a bed bug is touching me. I know the difference of a bug walking on you.
Yeah.
Because that's how many bugs we had everywhere. You know the life of the bed spaces.
Yes. And the same kitchen.
And the same kitchen. And
the same bathroom.
Corner, And my dream was to own my own bed space. When you stay with the people, it's very important what you say. The community you stay with. If all your friends have Range Rovers, you dream of a Range Rover.
True story.
But kama wote ni wa bodaboda, ukinunua Vitz, unaona umefika.
Kabisa, uko mbele.
So my mindset was nikuwe na cyber kama ya Moha.
Yes.
Because everybody that's where. But then now thinking about it, what walikuwa naenda cyber walikuwa wamesota. Ndio maana hizo cyber zote zilifunga. Juu zilikuwa zinasaidia tu watu wenye wanakuja kutafuta job. Sio watu wako na job. Mtu akipata job ananunua computer.
Yeah, true.
So
nice one.
bed space. I stayed there 8 visit visa. Eventually, I got the job that I wanted because I had refused to take any other job, which is something I would advise people. If you ever go to Dubai or outside, don't chagua job. That was a big mistake that I did, which was sikuwa nataka kazi ya security. I'm already tall. Ningepata kazi ya security.
Haraka sana.
Sikuwa nataka kazi ya waiting,
housekeeping,
service, housekeeping. But those were all stepping stone to other jobs. Yeah. It's easier to grow in that particular place. Mimi nilikuwa nataka kazi ya gym. Nilikuwa nimekwama nayo, I was rigid.
Okay.
Mimi najua kazi ya gym, nataka kazi ya gym. God ameniita nikamuku, God atani bless you. Kusini mse wa faith.
Got you.
And I'm like, the easiest job, pata ya hoteli. Whatever work you get there, you have accommodation, food and transport.
Yeah.
Hata wakikulipa tao ni tao yako na una internet. Then you have time and you can cancel anytime to look around and make an informed decision of where you want to go based on the skill sets that you have.
Good.
Without a hurry, now without the pain of some people back home are always asking, lazima mtu achukue role, mzazi sana kwambia okay.
Nikuja tu.
Sasa tu rudi home, sasa vile tu naona. And I would come home and those days uki exit, you had to stay away for a month.
Yes.
And I would spend the whole month invisible because you don't want people to know where
that you are back.
Because sasa you are ashamed. Hujaipata job. Watu wenye mlipataga nao job walipata na wakapata job zingine na wakaendelea. Eventually I got a job. Eventually before that job I started doing the hair. I helped a friend. Akienda job. I still remember she was going kwa job ya Levi's. Kwambia hizo braids toa, uko na dread, toa ukae fashionable. It's fashion. And then there is the culture kutoka Kenya kutafuta job ni suti.
Yes.
So we didn't know outside, if you're looking for a fashion, you go dressed in a fashion way.
Yes.
You look fashionable. If you're going for an office job, then you look like an office person. So mimi ningeenda job ya gym na suti. Interview. Okay. So you're supposed to do demonstrations. Unafanya demonstration naje na suti. You get it? And then jumini tamaka, hata sikai mse wa gym. Umeisha Kipchoge. Umeisha yako yote ukae kama unaweza onesha mtu gym yote.
Yes.
But then my excuse was very easy. Nikiulizwa, why don't you look like a body and you're a gym guy? Nikisema, I help people lose weight. So if I have lost weight, then I can if somebody looks like me, I can make you look like me.
Yes.
So it was an easier way, but it was just
an easier sell.
I used to eat one
meal
a day. Kichapo kia Pakistani kile kukubus.
Yes.
So I did her hair, ikashika. Somebody asked her,
who did your hair?
I still remember alikuwa ameenda kuchukua nyanya tupike kamande na mchele. Kasema a guy called Kris, shika namba yake. Call. So somebody calls me like, yo, nimeambiwa unaundaga dread. Nikasema mimi siundagi dread. I used to do only my sister's dread and my wife was my girlfriend at that time.
Yes.
Alikuwa nazo ndogo. Nikamwambia mimi wasiundi dread. But I'd come from a job in Abu Dhabi which I had worked for 2 weeks, but visa ikakataa kuingia. Wakanituma home. Wakaniambia sasa wewe, unaona umekaa 2 weeks ushamaliza stress za kutafuta job, uko na mpaka accommodation, then umerudi kwa kiwanja. So I was so depressed. Visa imekataa. Akasema nitakulipa. Nikamwambia kama utanilipa on one condition, unanilipa kabla tuanze. So that if you don't like what I do, none of my business. Akanilipa. So unajua sasa I'm doing it commercially.
Yes.
Si ati for fun. For fun, if you don't like it, ni shauri yako.
Yes.
I didn't gain anything. He paid me 50 dirhams. Where? Now, sasa nikaanza kukaokota. Now people started, kuna jamaa anaitwa Kris, kuna jamaa wa dread anaitwa Kris ule wa dread, Kris wa dread. And then now I went to YouTube to try and learn. There are no people in YouTube to learn from. There are only like 2 people who are giving like kabla get message umeona video mzima 3 hours unaona 30 minutes ndio ujue tu lock part ratio. Nashanga hii information kwani but I didn't know watu wanatafuta engagement. Ndio kukuwa na hizo ma ads ziko katika. I didn't know YouTube. You get? I didn't know the importance of that. So eventually nimeunda watu nimemake dough. I still remember a guy hata James. I used to remember a guy alikuwa anaenda kwake kuunda nywele and then anipea ugali na nyeni ziko na nyama. So unajua that was a rare commodity. Akinipea ugali na nyama ananiambia buda situonane siku nyingine. He wouldn't pay me but I have nothing to say because I was hungry. And then I'll be like, "Huyu jamaa tu yani amenipika tu kiraka hivyo juu amenipea tu food. Not all the mufatari.
Let me take it.
Sawa, I'll just take it and grow. I'll get to the point where I'll grow. The other guy I was telling you about, I used to wash his dishes, everything, and I would eat there. So I survived until I got a job. By the time I was getting a job, I was making good money. Ya kuunda dreadi. The first time I knew I would make money, I made 2,500. Then after
dirhams.
Dirhams.
When was that? Which year?
That was 2009.
Ilikuwa ina nini na how much?
Hiyo bado siku hiyo ilikuwa kidogo, ilikuwa 18-19.
Sio kasa ni 2,500. 2,000. Hii hesabu tu kidogo Lynn.
Nafanya 2 times 20 for easy math.
Uko na like 50k.
50k.
Just from here.
From here. Then ika move nikaanza ku make 6k. 7k, 8k. So when I was applying for a job was nimeboeka and because our parents taught us lazima ukuwe na job. So there is the fear of
you were saying
unlearning. I had to unlearn that. If I had known then what I know now, I would never even have taken the job. Though I thank God for the job because I learned how to be a millionaire. I learned how to manage resources. I learned how millionaires go broke by watching somebody who is worth 2 billion suddenly get into debt. And I'm like, how did we have 5 places that we are making 27 million dirhams a year? How did we go from there to closing all of them? So I had 8 years that I worked there to learn. So I worked 8 years.
In the gym now?
In the gym, while still doing hair. I never used to have an off day. Nilikuwa na off day tukienda vacation na wife. Nikiwa off na ni off moja ya Friday. Line 6 a.m. asubuhi mpaka midnight. Naunda nywele. Then I figured out how to do straight hair. My money started moneying. I
pray everyone that statement applies to all of you. Our money must start moneying. Let's go.
So, walami wanalipa poa na juu, you know, there's the law of business is the law of demand and supply. And that law worked very well for me in Dubai because I had a lot of time to do research on people's hair because they have nowhere else to go. Mtu ako na nywele ya makamasi, mtu ako na nywele ya dengu. You have to treat different textures of hair differently. So I have to come up with different ways of doing hair. Then I became the rare commodity. And because people have jobs on Abu Dhabi, people used to come from Oman. People used to come from Saudi to get their hair done from me. Where's the palm roll to hivyo upake mtu gel hivyo, the traditional way that people know ya kuunda dread umtume arudi Saudi. Hiyo nywele akishaosha,
it's gone.
Your work is gone. So you have to find a permanent solution so that person can stay 3 months without coming back.
And all this you are learning by your own.
I'm learning on my own.
You are researching on your own.
I'm researching. There's nothing to research. Now it's try and error on people's heads. Eventually, I got it. I got crochet. And I became so good at it. Nikikunda nywele sahi, you can wash it every day na utaenda salon for 12 weeks. Every day. You get it?
Yeah.
So it became a commodity.
So you are doing straight hair, you are doing dreadlocks, and you are doing crochet.
Crochet is part of the dreadlocks. It's one of the methods. Dreadlocks has 3 ways of doing it. You crochet, you interlock, or you palm roll.
Yours is?
This is crocheted.
Okay.
So all you freeform, the ones that sasa
ni za I thought ni zile crochet za kuongezea mse.
Hiyo sasa hizo zinaitwa crochet braid because you use that, they use a latchet hook that they call the crochet.
Okay.
But hii tunatumia kashindano kana toka crochet, crochet kabisa. So it became so good. And so because straight-haired people are the majority in Dubai, and the numbers in Dubai, if you look at the Kenyans, for example, they fall under others.
Yes.
In fact, all Africans are under others. So you find like the highest population is Indian, Pakistanis, Filipinos, like that. All African, apart from Egypt, is others. So una market kubwa ya ati anini. Na pia, you can't charge somebody whose salary is 1,500 dirhams. You can't charge them 300 dirhams to do hair.
True.
maximum utamcharge ni so 150.
Yeah.
So I moved from my 50 bob to so. Then I moved to so to 150, where I stayed a while until now I started charging with dollars. So it was $100. And people were like, oh, Kris, siku hizi anaringa, siku hizi uchukwangi do. And then for me, my philosophy is different. Kesho ukipewa job na CNN, utaendelea kufanya hii hapa na wamekupea kila mwezi utakupea $1 million.
Yes,
wewe kama Lynn sahi.
Hayo nakata.
$1 million every.
Nakata.
Utakataa uendelee na hii?
LNN siwezi toka.
Na wakikupea na ukwambia uendelee na hii.
Siwezi enda CNN.
Kwa nini? I'm just giving an example. Somewhere where there's a lot of money where you're like, if I get this money, me I've checked out.
I think I would consider just maybe a different platform.
Me I would check because for me is
not
that
international
mindset,
media.
International for me is that part where if you get something else like now, okay, where were you before here? Tuko. Like who are you before Lynn? Si ulikuwa unafanya job?
Yes, Gulf.
Gulf.
Yes.
Kwa nini uliacha hiyo job? Kwa nini usirudi hiyo job? Passion imekufuata.
Yeah.
Na ukipata passion nyingine?
Nitaenda.
Si utaifuata hiyo passion.
Yes.
Na hiyo passion ikivana?
Nitaenda.
Ikupe sasa kidogo kingine kia wana kenye unaangalia hivyo unasema yenyewe hapa siko nimefikiria hivyo.
Yes.
So mimi usema hivyo, if you're working in McDonald's and then KFC calls you and gives you more money, you don't stay in McDonald's.
No, you don't.
You go to KFC. So for me, I went to make money.
Yeah.
And I'm like, these people are offering me in the dollars. Wewe unataka kunilipa 150 unaniambia na ringa. Sio kuringa. Hata job yako ukipewa job nyingine utaiwacha.
Where do you think that comes from when you are trying to make moves and there are people always saying, "Oh, unaringa."
I am happy for you as long as I can access you. And I am happy for you as long as you're in the same level.
Because the moment you are elevated,
the moment you go up, umeringa. Na mimi naulizanga watu wako wa primary wangapi mnaongeanga nao? When you went to high school, you formed high school friends.
Yes.
When you moved to the Gulf, you formed Gulf friends. You moved back here. Now maybe 2 people only from the Gulf.
A true story though.
Na si ati unawachukia. It's because you move.
And elevation requires separation.
Yeah. So wewe ulikuwa unanilipa so, si ati nimekataa do yako.
Plus nime-advance
your money is not moneying now anymore.
Whoa. And also I've advanced my skill set.
And if it requires me to go down, I will still come down and do the $100, you know. But right now, niko kwa hii dolali.
Yes.
Naifuata.
Yeah.
So I would do straight hair. They'll pay me $1,000 for 7 hours. What? Unaniambia?
Someone would pay you
1,000 even now. Sahi hata nakatanga 2,000. True story. Nakatanga $2,000 because naangalia the time it requires and the energy it requires from me. It will take me another 3 days. In those 3 days, I go to teach, let's say in New York.
Yeah.
I have 10 people that I'm charging $2,000 for.
You make 10
4
times.
days. Then, see, I focus on reaching that. I just keep my mind. The same way unasema ukipona sienu utasema hapana. Kwa nini? Because your focus is here and you know where you're heading.
Yeah.
You know where this is. This will stretch you further.
Yes.
You get it? So I moved. I started doing straight
You learned
hair.
how to say no.
Yeah. Guy.
Because no is also an answer.
Learning to say no in business is the most important thing. And it's hard because you feel like you owe people. And people will guilt trip you if you say no. For me, and also learning to accept no's. If I tell Ngugi, nikam kwa show yako uniambie no, I have to learn how not to take it personal. It's not you and me. You don't know me, Lynn. If you say no to me, you're not saying no to me. You're saying no to the idea
of you.
Of me. And I had to learn that, how to take no's and how to give no's.
Yeah.
Just hata watu wakikutumia pesa, hey buda, niaje mtoto wangu anahitaji school fees. I'm like, no. Na sio kwa ubaya ama nini.
But I can't.
I just cannot. I have to stay focused and real. So I moved and then Corona came. Business died. People used to fly from Qatar. People used to fly from Saudi. People used to fly from New York, come to Dubai to get their hair done. I've had somebody from Sweden. Imagine, come get the hair done. $1,000 minimum wanaangusha hapo. Corona came, business died. We went back to the ground. But then I remembered how I started doing hair. It was when I was in the place of looking for a job where I was like, God has deserted
on the ground.
me. So I knew God is birthing something new. And I started celebrating. Every morning, 4 a.m., I would wake up to dance. Every morning. For almost 4 months straight. I stopped going to the gym, started doing my yoga nest, stretching, because that's the only one you can afford.
Yes. And
I kept up. Halfway through, we were spending a lot of time online. Somebody said, "See, you teachers." I'm like, I have YouTube tutorials for free. I'd already put them up. He said, see you teachers. I say, those tutorials are there na bado mnataka niwafunze? Okay, I went and archived all of them. They were all free. I was teaching for free. And then I'm like, okay, people started paying. People started paying $200 an hour for a Zoom class. Mimi hata siku anajua Zoom. Mimi, we know the way people say you have to have a proposal preparation. Yeah. Step out in faith. Nayo. Step out in faith.
And I feel like a lot of people are comfortable in the preparation period rather than the execution. Rather than the execution. Get out.
Mimi hata microphone. I use exactly what I have. When you use it well, then now I invest in an expensive one.
Man.
Where you are, what resources do I have that I can employ? Use those. The light, wacha kinunua ile kigodox ndio nitaanza YouTube yangu. Hapana, wacha tochi hata. Wacha anza. Fungua dirisha kwanza, light is beautiful. Natural light. So Corona killed everything. Went back into prayer. Started teaching on Zoom. The classes became big. Now I'm making money at the comfort of my home. Literally, I didn't have to go anywhere. Simu yangu ilikuwa inalia tu ting, pesa imeingia. Because I would wire money to people would send money to the Cash App. Cash App is the M-Pesa of the US. To my Cash App, one of my cousins, big up to my cousins, Joy. She's been such an instrumental person in my life. And then she would send it to somebody who was working in Dubai from the US, one of my clients. And then that client would send it from their account in Dubai to my account. And so I would receive money in my phone. And it went big until I opened a company in the US, had a payment gateway, a website. Hata sikuwa na website, hata sikuwa na nini. Everything was through Instagram. All is social. Even till now, I'm very big on social media because of Instagram. That. I love social media because of not the money they pay you. Otosemanga TikTok nalipanga. Is the side business that I make out of the noise, which I'm going to tell you about. I call it finding your monkey. Is I teach about social media and how to grow your social media. And one of the things I say is that finding your monkey. A lot of people want to look sophisticated and well put without having to go through the mud of growing.
Absolutely.
Somebody, hata mimi nataka show kama ya Lynn nikuwe na 1 million. Lynn ametoka na ni employ mtu. Hapana.
Nitafute mtu wa kamera tu na editor.
Tina editor.
Ni show tu.
There's a lot to learn. Kumbe kunaendanga hivi. Sio show tu. They just see you as yana kanga tu chini anaongea na mtu ana nod kichwa hivi anaongea. You know, they don't understand the spirits that you've had to put through, the trials that you had to mold you to have the energy because people gravitate towards your energy.
Yes.
Who you truly are, that vibration that you vibrate with. That's what people naendaga kwa show ya Lynn kwa sababu ya hiyo. And so if you don't increase yourself first, haiwezi. So I moved from there, started doing pre-recorded classes. At first I was afraid watu wataziiba. Then I did my first pre-recorded class. Nikaunda pesa kama ya wizi. Like if I tell you, you'll be like, guy, in one day I made, the first day I made $10,000 in one day. In 4 days I made 26,000. Nikakafunga. Mimi na Zoom yangu, sasa nika slow down. Juu unajua pia Zoom is light. Nikasema now I can send people to the pre-recorded and sit back
and relax
and start kukaokota.
Girl!
So now I started focusing on making pre-recorded videos. So everything I want to do, I pre-record it. So now I have 17 pre-recorded classes. And then from there now I was like, okay, let's go find out what is the need on the ground. So now when I travel to teach, I talk to salon owners and I talk to people who have locks and find what are their problems and what is the need in the salon, so that the next thing that I will create will be what will help them make money. Because if you're not helping somebody make money, you're not making money. Everything is helping somebody make it. If you're not helping, it's you. This show is not for you, Lynn. It's for us, your guests. You have created a platform where we can be visible. People who have businesses, people who have a story to tell can be visible. So it's about them, the other people. So if I make me about my business about me,
It's
That's
done.
how they feel.
Done. It's
when
done
it's
and
I,
dusted.
and I'm like, how can I help these people that I'm taking money from?
Yeah.
So I travel to different states and I do feasibility studies and I understand, okay, this is what is required. And then when I supply that requirement, then I get paid in that process.
God, Kris, you know, as you're talking, I'm imagining, because you said, partly I see it as a blessing in disguise, because our entry in Gulf was about, I think, 3 jobs: security, housekeeping, waitressing. Nimeacha ingine?
No, sichague. Nizo,
Sini hizo
security,
tatu.
housekeeping na waitressing.
Na waitressing. So me, I had CVs for everything apart from housekeeping. I had CVs for security and waitressing.
Ulikuwa nayo?
Yeah, but housekeeping, I was like, I'm gongo man.
Atiwezi.
But I'm looking at you now, being able to identify a different market. And I'm happy that now people are going to Dubai for other different jobs. What can you say about that? And are you still in Dubai?
Yes, I still live in Dubai, but nowadays I just live in Dubai. I don't have any business that I do in Dubai.
Yeah.
People have tried to ask me to start a salon. I've thought about it, but businesses require you to be there. And at the moment, I want to explore what the world has to offer. So I don't feel like I want to be stationed anywhere on the planet. I want to be able to be a citizen of the free world, where I can be here for a month. I can be in Dubai for a month. I can be in the US for a month. I'm going to Canada next weekend for 2 weeks. I want to be able to do that for as long as I can.
Why?
Because that's what my dream is to travel the world and to see and gain knowledge from
That's
people.
wealth.
That's my wealth. Remember when I was telling you,
yes.
it's there. And so when I go first, and then me and my wife and my child, we also go and visit these places and see.
So
and have a good
your
time.
child, school?
We are now the neo parents. Remember I told you I was number 73 out, 67 out of 73. I wasn't the smart kid. We tell the teachers in my daughter's school, she's here to learn how to be a member of the society, how to follow rules, how to interact with other kids. But the education, we do that at home.
You are teaching her
We
real
do
life.
that at home. We don't care about. Mwalimu Arabic tulimwambia, hii Arabic tutapeleka wapi? Usilete homework tena. In fact, nienda at parents meeting kaambia, don't give this child homework ya Arabic. Mmalizage shule, anaenda home. We will no longer be doing Arabic homework. Kashanga, hii ni shule, hii ano wazazi wagani, the child needs to be free. We cannot be, let her enjoy being a child. Like, kuja home, no, it's a weekend. Let the child stay home.
Let the child be a child.
It's weird that my child wakes up and be like, Daddy, I don't want to go to school today.
And you
I
say
asked
yes.
Mama, amekuwa akienda shule how? Yeah, it was like she's been consistent. Okay,
Let her stay.
just chill today. Let's just have a good time. You know? And so that child gets to experience being a child. Because we were robbed childhood, when you think about it.
A lot. Kwanza hiyo nini shule walikuwa natubebesha vibuyu za maji. Unajua you are lucky you went to boarding. Me look at that school and everything they hapana. Me, by the way, I think we were we went through a lot.
It was just too much to take in.
What was that? You wake up at, I don't know what time, you shower with cold water.
Now, the funny part about cold water is I shower with cold water
Which now you understand why. As a child, why are you?
No, a child doesn't
and
need
you
cold
do it,
water.
You do it
now
with
I do
all
it for, now
joy.
I do it because I understand what it does for my
but
blood.
As a child, umebebana huko na ndoo, mnapanga line hata ya mkate. What is that? But
we go back to the Gulf people.
Let's go
the
back
people
to
looking
the Gulf.
for a job in the Gulf.
Talk to me about our people in Gulf.
The first thing is what kenye inawezanga watu ni kujiamini. Kujiamini ndio inawezanga watu. Why? Because unaona unaweza, but are you prepared?
Yeah.
So you find people even on our times, ukienda interview a coffee shop, you want to be a barista.
Yeah.
Unaulizwa how many types of coffee do you know? Wewe uliendaga hata Java, unajua coffee ni gani?
Mimi hata
unajua black coffee, English tea,
Americano.
Hata ujue Americano, ulikuwa unasema coffee with milk.
Yes.
Sasa hizo kweli ni vitu, me I've had somebody answer like that. You know, instead of, okay, nenda job. Your job, wanafanyanga nini? Coffee. I need to spend a lot of time understanding coffee. Where's the origin of coffees? Coffees from what? What types of machines of coffees do you have?
Yeah.
If it's security, what are the qualifications of a security? All classes are available online. wacha niende nione social security
And now
systems
times are
gani.
easier.
Times are easy. Kama unaenda kwa merchandise, you cash out, point of sale.
Yeah.
How many what is the system that they're using? Is it Oracle or is it the other one? Have some knowledge, because people don't hire you because you know. They hire you because you're moldable.
Yes.
They look at, huyu mtu is teachable. So ukifika pale kwa interview ndo unawaambia hapana, no. And then those no, people who are negative. How is Kenya? Like for me, I used to hire people. Nobody would be hired in that company I was telling you about without my consent. Nobody. 300 employees, nobody would get hired without my consent. But what was I looking for? Attitude. Oh, just ask Lynn, tell me, where are you from?
Yes.
Nairobi. How is Nairobi?
It's good.
Yeah, how did you grow up? So I want to hear your positivity. So like, Nairobi is bad, it rains, it's too crowded. You know, the government of Kenya isn't giving us jobs. Well, utakuja kucomplain hata nikikupea job. But if you have a gratitude like, you know what, I'm hopeful. How do you like Dubai? It's hot, but it's fun. Have you seen the cars here?
That's good.
That's somebody.
Attitude.
That's an attitude. You know, but people who don't have that, they lose it because people are not allowing themselves to be authentic. Nimejiamini. When you research, you are confident. When you're confident, it's easy to express yourself. And it's easy to ask yourself, how do I look? Why did I wear pink? I have so many colors, but why did I wear pink today? Because I was going to a ladies' show. It's just been Women's Day. And so it gels in with your feminine energy that I'm here. So it softens my masculinity. Nikienda show ya masculinity, nitavaa blue ama nitavaa color ingine yenye blends into the colors. I watched your shows, I watched your videos, I saw your deco, so I can fit into that deco.
You did your homework.
I did my homework. I listened to the questions that you ask people. I listened to, the camera that the language that people speak, so I can know who are the audience that will be doing that. So if you go for an interview, I'm an accountant. What can I do to get to the accounting? Let me start this housekeeping.
Yeah.
But then I will move in. I know very well. Now I'm here, I'm working, I'm not stuck here. I have 6 months. By 6 months, grow. Yeah, be very optimistic and research on anything that you want to do. There are jobs out there, even here.
And well-paying jobs.
And know that suffering is part of life. Even when you have money, suffering is...
It's a stage.
It's a stage of life. It's there. Suffering is there. Like hardship is there. Work is divine. God said, let us make man for our own image and likeness. Why? So that he may have dominion over the earth. Yeah. So that he may work on earth. Not labor, work. Now you're working with something that you love.
Yes.
But work has to work. And sometimes you'll be like, okay, bado naenda studio. You enjoy it, but sometimes you're like,
not today.
Ni Monday tena. You get what I mean?
Yes.
But it's work.
Yeah.
So that has to be there. The labor is what is not supposed to be there, where you're suffering to make ends meet.
Good. Let's talk hair kidogo, because it will be so wrong for us to wind up this show without talking about hair. First, how long is your hair in terms of duration, and what does hair mean to you?
I have had it for 12 years.
Wow.
A lot of people take hair for spiritual reasons, for cultural reasons. Hair has a lot of significance in most cultures, almost all cultures. But for me, hair is an adornment of the head, and it's a means to an end. My hair, as beautiful as it looks, does not define me. I have met people who, when they cut their hair, they go depressed. I've met people who, when they lose their followers on Instagram, they now come back to Instagram to cry because they were hacked. And I'm like, I have defined myself outside of my hair. If I shave tomorrow for whatever reason, I still have the confidence and I still speak, because it is the inner man that I work on. But in terms of business, hair for me is a means to an end. It has helped, it has opened doors for me. A lot of doors. And in fact, when I sit down, the same way I walked in, I walk like this in banks. I walk like this in places that I want to get favor. And my hair does that for me. Wow. And people are like, I want to know you. Who are you? Are you a celebrity? By the time they all do that, I'm a bank manager. Already, and Shakachini, he will do whatever it is that I wanted done.
And it's done.
You know, they can now tell me, enda upange line.
Come on.
Yes. I just stand there like, okay. The other day we went to this event and we didn't even have tickets. And I stood outside and I said to this guy, let's wait. If tukikosa mtu ndani, I will present myself. So I usually cover my hair. So I called somebody, luckily there was, if there was nobody, ningetoa tu nywele niweke hivi.
Na tuingie. Ndio performer.
Nimwambie tuingie, mwambie naenda kwa stage. I'm one of the guys. This is convincing.
Yes.
Jamaa amekuja. It's convincing. So for me, hair has been an instrumental, and I call it my inheritance. Because our forefathers, the Mau Mau, vowed not to cut their hair until we achieve freedom. And so hair, having dreadlocks, became the symbol of freedom. And so now I wear it in the honor of our forefathers, our grandfathers, to say, hey, your sons are free now from any bondage and westernization. We are now authentically ourselves, and we are able to go to other places that you are not able to go. We are free to global truth and showcase the beauty and the freedom that you fought for.
Yes.
You know? Yeah, that's what hair means to me.
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
I know you hear it a lot, but it's absolutely beautiful.
You never get enough of it.
No, imagine
I never get enough of hearing how good the hair is.
I just don't want to appear like I'm creepy.
And you know, I never wanted to have it.
Why?
Because I was in the corporate.
Yeah.
I was in management. So you don't want to kufutwa job already when you mweusi. Being a black person, I don't like talking about the negativity, but there's also that perception. Because movies zote, ukiwa ni mtu ni mchawi ama kuna mashetani wako na dredi. So there is that mindset, mtu wa dredi ni manga, unaget, ni mtu wa boza. You get what I mean? There is that perception of dreadlocks is part of bado ni drugs zako nazo. And I'm like, hey, I'm married, I'm a family man, I'm a present father, I'm a businessman, I support myself and my family. My hair does not define who truly I am inside. No, it's just an adornment from the outside. And people have, it's part of the colonial mindset, I call it, where they made hair look so bad that out there. So also I've learned that ukiwa na dredi, culture yourself. Juu nikiwa nimevaa hivi vile nimevaa nikitoka kwa street, unadhani polisi atanisimamisha?
No.
Akinisimamisha namzaa boss, umenisimamishia nini? Tutakosana vibaya sana. Mimi hata na polisi the last time nanisimamisha, umenisimamishia nini? Wewe unajua mimi ni nani? Hata mimi sijui mtu yote. Hey, mkubwa, pole sana mkubwa. Wewe na wewe ni si basi tuachie chai. Naambia umenikasisha sana.
Isi leo.
Umenikasisha sana. But ni vile now I know my authority. I know the rights that I have as a Kenyan or as a citizen of the free world. Because hata immigration nasimamishango, unaenda wapi? But then when they look at you vile umevaa hivi, the way you package yourself, they're like, okay, this person knows where he is going.
Yeah.
They know this person, kai kama amechanganyikiwa. Unaona? And it's very important to be able to know, to culture yourself to the setup that you're required. Sio kusema mimi I'll go mimi. Ni mimi. It's me, Kris. If you invite me to go meet the president tomorrow with you, I will come dressed to go meet the president tomorrow.
Wait, what? Meet who?
The president with you.
No, thank you.
I'm just saying, for example, not this president. I'm just saying,
please.
Tomorrow, you know, I'm giving an example.
Traore.
But if you're going tomorrow to play with kids,
yes,
somewhere you've been invited to play
of
with
course.
Kids and say, Kris, come tuende kwa watoto.
Spider Woman.
I will, unaget, nitakuja kama nimevaa design yenye watoi wata appreciate, huyu ni mtoi mkubwa.
Yes.
And play with them. I have to be able to culture myself to fit into that. So most people with dress and per se do not understand that perception of, okay, people are looking at me. And I am an ambassador of dreadlocks. Now when people look at my dreads, like, aya, kumbe dreadlocks nakuanga safi. Aya, kumbe watu wa dread wanakuanga hivi.
But then there's that misconception ati dread zikuangi safi, zinanuka, ni zimejaa nini. But no.
Those are the old days when people didn't know. Now people have showers at home. You wash your hair every day if you want to. It's hair.
Yeah, so do you have like hair, you know, like mafuta, hair food?
Yes, not hair food. Hair food is a lie. Anyone telling you utapaka kitu ime is a lie. Because hair doesn't grow on the head. Hair grows on the skin. Anything that you will have to do to make your hair grow has to go through here. You have to ingest it. But the problem is, all your hairs will grow. All your hairs will grow. Aina ati anything. All your hairs will grow because they're growing where? On the skin. So instead of that, for commercial purposes, paka hapa, it'll grow. No, it's a lie. There are things that can stimulate, and one of them is being in a good, proper mindset. Sleep hygiene helps you grow. Sleep hygiene, basic stuff. But I do have products that I do make. I don't sell them yet because I prefer first to over-exploit. Like before I made a video of crocheting on YouTube, I was already very good at it and I'd done it for 5 years. So by the time I show people what I'm doing, I'm already...
You know what's
And
up.
also remember, I wait for the need. Because you could have 1,000 products, nobody wants them.
Yeah.
So I wait for the need. Now people start asking me, Kris, unatumianga mafuta gani ya nywele? Tupe hiyo mafuta yako. And my wife is like, I told you to package this. I told you to package it. My wife is the one who's like, I said, Mom, this wende unapigaga hizo mix vile nakwambia. Aniambia, then let's package it. I'm like, okay, let's package it.
She's
now
there like, I told you.
She's the one who told me weka dreads zitakuwa poa.
Yes.
She's the one who told me.
Wow.
Yeah. And that's where for me comes the word helper and comes the person where all my ideas I run through my wife. And people were like, oh, you're a man. That's what being a man is about. I called her to be my partner so that I can have extra mind that is clear and sees from a third party. So like, baby, what do you think about this? She's like, ayo ni ujinga. It will hurt.
But ni ukweli.
But you go down and do the analysis like, Aki Anani, she was right. And then she'll be like, do that. Apana. Eventually,
She'll tell you, I told
projection.
you. Mbona lakini mnagojanga muambiwe kitu 10
Kichwa
times.
ngumu. Si kwa sababu tuliambiwa mwanaume, we still have the cultural thing ya mwanaume.
You can tell someone something for the whole year. Then
we didn't know. It takes a lot of maturity to understand.
Mi naona hiyo ni shida.
Ni shida kubwa sana. It takes a lot of maturity to know how to say yes, listen. For both genders, to learn how to be like, yes, ma'am, umeongea ukweli hapo. I will do that. It takes a lot of maturity.
Si ndio?
Yeah, a lot of maturity.
Unaweza ambia mtu kitu halafu ya mke aseme, by the way, I've been telling you that the whole, now you are thinking, but me, I've been saying it the whole year.
And also, I've learned something called inception, is where you make the idea look like the person. Because everybody, what is the oldest sin in the Bible? The devil said, I will ascend to the mountain of the Most High. I will be like the Most High. The devil sinned in heaven, trying to become like the Most High. He didn't want to be told. He wanted to be the one telling. Wanna get? So everybody in our own minds, we want to be the one, oh, this is my original idea. We don't want to be. So if I want to give you an idea, I have to make it look like you are the one who came up with it. So for me, to disseminate that information, I have to figure out how to make it your idea. Because at the end of the day, I'm trying to help you.
Yes.
And I'm happy for you, whether it's my idea or not. I want to see it bear fruit. And then after that, you will not blame me. Because remember, what is the second sin? Adam and Eve. When Adam was asked, what did he say? It is the woman that you gave me. Assuming is whose problem? It was God's problem. Juu kama ungenipea huyu, singekula. Na Eve kuulizwa akasema ni nini? It was
the snake.
Lack of accountability. Nobody wants to be. So if you give me the idea, then kesho nitasema si hii ilikuwa idea yako. But if you pass it down so it becomes my idea,
I won't have anyone to blame.
Yeah, I won't have anyone to blame. I'll have to take ownership of it.
I have to take accountability. That's a good one.
Ownership. And then the third one from there is what? Jealousy. Because then now there won't be jealousy because we are working. Cain and Abel.
Yes.
Because we are working for the same goal. Yeah.
Beautiful. What legacy do you want to leave behind?
It's a good thing that you would ask legacy. Who am I leaving the legacy for to begin with? It's my children. Because I am not leaving the world legacy. Because when you die, people will forget you. It doesn't matter how good you are or the things. We know Mother Teresa, but that's all we know. But my children, so the legacy that I'm leaving my children for me is not the wealth, the money or the cars or buroti maguta. Those are all good things to leave. The Bible says that a good father leaves an inheritance for his children's children. That is the measure of a good father. He leaves an inheritance for his children's children. So that's the measure of a good father. But the legacy is the life that I have lived. That is the legacy that I'm leaving for my children. What kind of a father am I depicting to my child? What kind of a friend, husband am I? What kind of a friend am I? When they look back, because now we have digital. Now our lives are being documented, Lynn.
Yeah.
We are on script now.
The footprints
are there. The digital footprints are there. What footprints am I leaving? When my child is my age, I wrote one thing and I said, it was a quote. I said, one day your children will grow up and they will figure you out. If you ain't worth much, ongea tu. We grew up and we figured out, my father had a lack there.
Yeah.
I love him, but there you. My mother, she needed anger management classes. Yo kelele alikuwa napiga
Si kawaida.
ikuwa kawaida.
Ni
Now that I'm an
trauma.
adult, I'm like, Mom, there's something that you needed to have a conversation with somebody who was a professional.
Yes.
And now I have seen how it had affected me. And now I have grown to not be that person. And I'm not judging you. I'm just saying I have come to an understanding that this is how families break. This is how families grow down because I've learned from them.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, the legacy I'm leaving my children is to be that present father and to love my child in a way that they can. When somebody says God is our father, she doesn't need definition. She knows who a father truly is. That's my legacy.
Beautiful. I appreciate you for coming by. I cannot wait to have you again, maybe on this platform or on a different conversation. But mine is just to say thank you. Since we started talking about, when my friend, our brother Kroba, DJ Kroba, he reached out, I'm like, man, wait, this name is familiar, you know? Since then, way back, since we started talking on a possibility of having this conversation, and it has come to pass. I learn a lot, patience, and when time is right, things fall into place. Yeah, and pass my regard to your family, your wife, your child, and I can't wait for us to meet each other, Uko. But
The
I know
diaspora.
the diaspora. I know you have a lot going on in terms of your own social media account. So would you maybe a parting shot, or if there's anything you feel like we've left, feel free to address it, and also remind people on your social media platforms how they can be able to connect with you, and also a reminder of the kind of courses that you offer.
I'm mainly on Instagram.
Yeah.
I call myself an Instagrammer.
Yes.
But I also do TikTok. Kenyans are more TikTokers, so I was thinking of changing my TikTok to Swahili. But I have a global presence, so I'm targeting the entire earth as opposed to one particular region. And on YouTube, all my names are Kris Mcdred, KRISMCDRED, Kris Mcdred. And if you go to my Instagram and click on the link, you will see most of the courses that I offer in the link on bio. If you want to connect with me, send me a DM. Don't say, can I ask you a question? Because then you have already asked the question.
Yeah.
Ask the question so it gives me an opportunity to know if this question is Googleable.
Yes.
Because people ask you questions that
they can
Google
grok.
can.
Even now we have grok on X.
Grok. So it's like now, siwende tu angalia hiyo. Ask me a question that I know in my professional. Keeps me questioning. I have 17 courses. I teach about crocheting, interlocking, palm rolling, lock extensions, how to put locks, how to combine. I have combined my locks so that they can look uncombined and still be very healthy and maintain it. I teach on styling. I teach on social media. Teach people how to grow their social media and how to not only have a following, but also make a fortune
Out of the following.
I say this, your face, Lynn, feeds your feed. Your feed is your platform where you put content. So your face feeds your feed.
Yes.
If it's YouTube, Instagram, or TikTok, your feed feeds your feed. Your feed feeds your followers. So anybody that is following the 1 million people want to come and feed the content from you. Your followers fuel your fame. Sasa wanaanza kuambia watu wengine, so then other people start coming. Your fame finds fortune for you. Good.
Nice breakdown.
You see that? So your face has to be consistent on content and find relevance. Find relevance. A lot of time I go and watch other people's content and I'm like, okay, how can I make that content my own? And how can I tweak it to become an original idea? Because you cannot recreate the color yellow. But then I do not want to be a photocopy of somebody else. I do not want to shadow somebody else, because then you struggle so hard and eventually you die without your legacy of having built something that was your own, that lives you. So you can get my courses are there. We always have discounts. I probably will do. I was looking forward to do, and I'm still looking forward to do a course in Kenya.
Yes, please.
In Uganda. I'm looking to go to South Africa.
Good.
In Nigeria, I have a big following there.
Yeah.
At the moment, UK, I was in UK last year. I'm going to Canada, then I'll be in the US, and then my residence in Dubai. Dubai is where Dubai is my city that I call Dubai has raised me. It raised me because kwa mtu utaenda ukae ukule lunch. Kisota umesota. So it raises you, and then it makes wealth look normal because people have expensive cars, so you feel like
Ni kawaida.
ni kawaida kuendesha kigari kikubwa, ni kawaida kuishi kwa kinyumba kikubwa, ni kawaida kwenda kwa lunch ya kifahari. And for me, it broke down the idea of wealth. And people say, oh, you're very materialistic. When dreams come to life, what do we say? They have materialized. They're supposed to be material. When you become materialist is when you're obsessed with the material. But we are supposed to have those materials.
Yes.
Because when dreams come, they materialize. They become substance.
I
they
love
become
that.
matter. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. Salimia, my people in Dubai. For me, honestly, I look forward to come. I've been saying, but I appreciate you. I can't wait to come back to Dubai and maybe hang out with beautiful souls. 1, 2, 3 shows from there. Yes. I love that. Tunajituma bado.
Yes.
This is beautiful for me. Every time I hear a testimonial, especially from someone who understands what a bed space is, for me, honestly, and that's why I started by saying, no matter what you're doing in life, always make sure that you continue believing in yourself. Me, I'm a huge believer. We might not have been given the same opportunities, but we've been given the same number of hours in a day. What you do with those hours,
it's up to you.
It's up to you. But Shukran, parting shot to my audience, what do you want to tell them?
Thank you very much for being on the show. Thank you for supporting Lynn. Thank you for supporting me. This is how we learn, by listening to other people and write notes. You will only remember 10% of the things that you hear, and you will remember 40% of the things that you write down, and 90% of the things that you teach. And teaching is in a classroom, is when you hear this, you go tell somebody, this is what I heard on Lynn's show, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's how you increase yourself. And don't give up. Keep pushing. Keep pushing. Wake up in the morning, figure you out, write down your thoughts, because out of that is the building blocks of making your dreams a reality. It's those thoughts. Those are your raw material for your reality.
For me, my take home from you has been sit with you, learn you, have a conversation with you, take time to be by yourself, talk to Lynn, speak, just
be your best friend.
Be your best friend, and also, pesa, dreams materialize. And I understand where people come from when they said it's elevation time. And I feel like people shouldn't be shy of their wins. People should actually not be shy of their wins.
Guy.
They shouldn't. Yeah.
Guy, that you've said that, because people don't want you to show your wins so that they can feel normal.
Of course.
I was discussing with my wife and we said, there's a good jealous. A good jealous is when I see you're a million and I'm like, that's a challenge. Kris, wewe umekuwa YouTube miaka ngapi? So uko na 170. So ungekuwa hata umefika mita ukiweka consistency. Put that. So I put you as my benchmark, not my competition, but I'm looking, okay, this is the consistency Lina Konayo. Can I match her consistency? I'm not competing with you. I'm using you to fuel me. So we are running together. You as a Kipchoge, you're running faster than me, but I want to run at your pace to see if my run, I can keep up with that. You get me?
I get you.
You benchmark yourself with people and consistently.
Yeah.
Keep moving.
Keep moving. A lot of take homes. Guys, me, I'm interested with what yours has been on the comment section. And as I said, every time I sit here with someone who has experienced bed spaces, I know by the way, saingine inakaanga ni kama we go deeper, but it's because, guys, that place it fueled us. I'm telling you, if you've ever been in a bed space before, utaki kukaa hapa for more than a month. Like, by the way, everything in your mind is, how do I get out of this place? How do I never come back to this place? And if that's a journey, some of us must take, well, you see, results, sisemi, we've made a fortune for ourselves, but this is to encourage you. Should you be there right now, always remember there's this other side of the story. Be consistent, go out there and chase your dreams. I believe we have all been given different gifts. Find out, what is this that I'm able to do? by me being me and me being authentic. So let me know what your take home has been. As I said, we have a new partner on the show. I feel good, by the way, whenever that happens. So our people at Golden Dreams Land and Properties, shukran sana. Remember, as I said at the beginning of the interview, they have land across the country. We were just in Malindi the other day. For me, it's very important to visit a property and make sure that I've done my due diligence, and make sure by the time I'm coming here to talk to you about even a piece of land, I've done my due diligence. But I encourage you also to do your own due diligence on the same. They are our new partners in Matters Land. Check them out. Our people in diaspora, you can also partner with them. You can send money through TapTap to get yourself a property or for any other need. And don't forget, if you use my promo code Lynn, you will be able to get a bonus on the numbers appearing on your screen right now. And also to say thank you to you incredible people for watching and participating. I have always said, by the way, unaweza pika chakula na watu wasikule, and this episode is dedicated to my good friend DJ Kroba. You asked me to do it, here we are. See, brother akisema kitu, sister anafanya. So I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow, our usual time, 10 a.m. or 7 p.m. Bye-bye.
Golden Dreams Land and Properties Limited, the leading real estate company in title deed issuance, welcomes you to Joy Gardens, Masinga. Just 10 minutes drive from Masinga town. Secure a 50 by 100 plot for only 230,000 cash price. In Success Gardens Makutano Phase 3, 50 by 100 plots are available for 750,000 cash price. All plots are close to social amenities with 98% neighborhood development, and prices are inclusive of title deed. Book your site visit now by calling 0726 004455 or 0718 004455. Golden Dreams Land and Properties Limited. Title deed is our DNA.